You're listening to GoAnimate Public Radio, 107.3 FM, your favorite radio station in GoAnimate City. We will be back in the Irrelevant Show after the news. This is GoAnimate News. I'm James Marshall. And so today, we are going to talk about something what is happening today. The Barney error has been killed by Officer Poop 247, and Anthony saved the day, and Dora and Kalo are get married today at the Community Christian Church in GoAnimate City. And Ashley will on the phone right now talking about what is happening today. Hello Ashley, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm doing great. So explain about what is happening.
I'm doing good. So tell us.
Toronto, Ontario, a 24-hour telephone service that aims to educate people about concussions may start to fill a gap in what Canadians know about the prevalent and potentially serious condition, the hotline's founder said Friday. Dr. Nilang Jha, a Toronto-based physician running a clinic specializing in concussion treatment and research, said people are often misinformed about the causes, diagnosis, and treatment of the highly common type of head injury. Describing concussions as a silent epidemic, he said the toll-free hotline staffed by volunteer neurosurgeons and neurologists may help.
Oh my goodness. Tell me more about it.
Conceptions extend well beyond the importance of rest, Jha said, adding members of the public often don't seem to know key facts about the condition and how it's caused or diagnosed. Patients who rely on CT scans or MRIs to determine whether or not they've suffered a concussion, he said, are putting faith in technology that isn't equipped to address their concerns. Concussions are caused when the brain is rattled and collides with the inner skull, causing bruising, and Jha said many people don't realize that neither CT scans nor MRIs are sensitive enough to discern those bruises. Similarly, he said many are under the mistaken belief that a blow to the head is the only way to sustain a concussion. If you take a blow to the chest, you can imagine how the head can swivel on its pivot back and forth and the brain inside the skull can hit the inside edge of the skull, he said. You don't actually need to even hit your head. You could take a blow to the chest and create that kind of whiplash effect that could cause a concussion. Jha, who runs a Toronto-based clinic known as Concussion, said the hotline allows the public to quickly and easily access reliable information, said being armed with appropriate knowledge could go a long way to preventing further health complications down the line. A person who has had a concussion has a higher likelihood of suffering another one within a few days, he said, adding secondary injuries can then lead to a host of problems such as reduced cognition, headaches, nausea, or language loss. A particularly drastic case occurred in 2013 when Rowan Stringer, a 17-year-old rugby player from Ottawa, died after sustaining 2 concussions within 1 week. She had apparently ignored symptoms for days after her first injury, prompting the Ontario government to pass Rowan's Law earlier this year. The law commits the province to setting guidelines to ensure children are taken out of a game if a concussion is suspected. The 24-hour hotline could prove to be a valuable resource for people in cases like Rowan's and many others, according to Brain Injury Canada.
That's all today. I'm James Marshall. This is the GoAnimate News. Executive Director Harry Zarin said concussions are likely outcomes for victims of everything from routine falls to car crashes and domestic violence. Information is plentiful, particularly online, but Zarin said patients do not always know where to find it or what to believe. He praised the creation of a hotline staffed by knowledgeable specialists, adding provinces could also help educate the public by preparing a resource for concussion patients. Any kind of information that could prevent second impact. You're listening to GoAnimate Public Radio, 107.3 FM, your favorite radio station. So today, we are going to talk about the Ontario Provincial Police and distracted driving. So Stephen Sansom, a 17-year-old famous video star, and her girlfriend Princess the Cinderella makes videos for a living. And also, Stephen's new movie came out in September of 2014. The movie was about Stephen Sansom when he was 15 years old. So Stephen is going to talk about. So Stephen, how are you, sir?
Hi, James. I have heard about your radio station.
Thanks, Stephen. I have heard that you are a video star. How's your Princess the Cinderella? How's your girlfriend doing?
She's doing great. We make a lot of videos and TV shows for GoAnimate Network channel.
Awesome. I had some great news. Corey Fowlam Automotive released his new commercial in July of 2016 on GoAnimate Network channel. It's about Pinewood Park Motors, your Ford dealer in Kirkland Lake. The Ford employees' pricing ends on September the 30th. So Stephen, we are going to talk about the Ontario Provincial Police and distracted driving.
Ontario Provincial Police are calling this past Labor Day long weekend the deadliest in 2 decades. Preliminary data provided Tuesday said there were 14 deaths, including 1 marine and 1 off-road vehicle fatality, in areas patrolled by the OPP. Tragically, one of the fatal incidents involved a single vehicle crash in northwestern Ontario that took the lives of 4 of the vehicle occupants, OTP said in a statement. On Friday, OTP launched a long weekend blitz targeting distracted driving, which police say has outpaced impaired driving as a cause of road deaths. Mid-August, the OPP had already probed 38 road deaths involving a distracted driver, compared to 19 road deaths involving suspected impaired driving. The latest crackdown brings the total number of distracted driving charges laid to date in Ontario in 2016 to more than 8,800. Distracted driving laws were introduced in Ontario in 2009. Since then, OTP officers have investigated more than 600 deaths involving an inattentive driver. Beginning last fall, the minimum fine for distracted driving rose to $490 plus 3 demerit points.
Oh, that's awesome. Tell us more about the conversion. The conversation.
Alsop Jr. says he lent his dad's work diaries to the Ontario Provincial Police in hopes of solving some of London's biggest crime mysteries. Now, he says, they won't give them back. As far as I'm concerned, that's a renegade of their promise. And all I wanted was a good photocopy of them back. They won't give me that, said the Londoner who found the diaries of his father, retired OPP Spud Dennis Alsop SR. Shortly after his father's death in 2012. Alsop is now taking the unusual step of filing a lawsuit in small claims court against the OPP, hoping to get his property returned. Alsop's father was the main investigator during a string of unsolved murders of young people in London and the surrounding area in the 1960s and 1970s, including the cases of Frankie Jensen, who was found murdered in 1968, Jackie English, who was abducted and murdered in 1969, and Priscilla Merle, who died in 1972. His notes offered some clues to the cases and were the backdrop for Western University criminologist Michael Artfield's recent book, Murder City. I really don't want to give up the diaries, because they are a fascinating glimpse into my father's life. His early days as a small-town cop in Ingersoll, through his time as an identification officer and respected investigator, the elder Alsop's 27 books chronicle the career cop's journey in small snippets. Only the years between 1958 and 1963 were missing from the collection that Alsop Jr. found in a cardboard box stored in the basement of his parents' Mississauga home. He's convinced that his dad kept the files for good reason and hoped someone might be able to pull together his clues using modern-day investigation tools.
When the people were murdered in the 70s, what happened then? When the people were murdered, and some people were murdered in the 70s.
Alsop Jr. stands on the Wellington Road Bridge over Highway 401. The last place 15-year-old Jackie English was seen alive, getting into a car back in 1969. The English case stayed in his father's mind for the rest of his career, as shown in his diaries, that Alsop Jr. gave to the OPP 2 years ago. Alsop is suing the OPP for his dad's diaries. Mike Henson, the London Free Press My father had a sense of history, Alsop said. He knew they were an interesting time capsule of the London area. So, James, I have my friend Alan here. He wants to talk to you.
So, James, I've heard about your show. And so, in 2012, the KLDCS held up a Sears Drama Festival, Kinfix and Mounting Music. In the year 2012, it was about Wilkes Collier, Monroe Short, and Uncle Delmer. Uncle Delmer was driving a blue 1944 Ford pickup.
You're listening to GoAnimate Public Radio, 107.3 FM, your favorite radio station in GoAnimate City. So today, Doris's Kalo's mom is going to talk about her son Kalo. So Doris, how are you?
I am doing fine. How are you?
Great. So, we are going to talk about your son, Kalo, and Boris the teeth guy.
Oh, Kalo is a good boy, and evil Boris is a bad father. And Boris was so abusive to me and my children. So I called the police on him for being an abusive freaking dictator.
No. Stop this right now, Doris. I'm going to break your neck and take out your guts. And you Baz, Tiger Baz.
What is going on over here?
Boris is trying to kill me. Kalo, call the cops on him, please.
Kalo, get your freaking ass over here right freaking now, you freaking stupid piece of crap.
Where's the teeth guy? You are under arrest for child abuse and as well as beating your wife. Come with me right now. You are going to jail for a very long time.
Let go of me, you stupid piece of crap guard. I will not go back to jail again. I will be back if I know it. Face my teeth. Face it.
So now, Boris the teeth guy is in jail now.
Now that Boris the teeth guy is in jail now, let's talk about my children. Boris the teeth guy is a bad father, and Rosie is a good girl, and Supreme Court obsessives are among us, and the internet and social media have set them free. They rhapsodize and criticize, revel in arcana, turn the justice's work into poetry and parlor games. At Supreme Court haiku, Houston lawyer Keith Josma takes hundreds of pages of opinions crafted by the nation's most potent legal minds and reduces them to 3 lines and 17 syllables. Ryan Malphurs and the company called GoAnimate are opening the doors of the Marble Palace, famously closed to television cameras.
Also, somebody's calling me.
Hello.
I am Kalo's teacher, Ms. Martin. So in the news, it's already that time of year. Temperatures are still sitting in the triple digits in some places, but many of you are just 4 weeks away from a new school year, heralding the end of summer. Once again, Engadget has put together a back-to-school gear guide, but this time, we did something a little different. This year's guide was curated with college students in mind, high schoolers, with sections for 5 broad archetypes: party kids, academics, jocks, freshmen and study abroad students. What's that you say?
I'm Dora's mom. Boris the teeth guy is stupid, and some people will think he's guilty.
He's guilty.
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 Guilty. Guilty.
Where's the teeth guy? You are sentenced to be in prison for 25 years. There will be major consequences by your wife and Kalo.
There will be major consequences by your wife and Kalo. There will be huge major consequences by your wife and Kalo.
I'm Princess the Cinderella's mom. Judgment has been issued in your case. You may obtain a copy of the judgment from your lawyer or from the court office. A photocopy fee will apply if you wish to make a copy of the judgment from the court file. You may also obtain a copy of a judgment in a case to which you were not a party upon payment of the prescribed fee. Currently, the ministry has no central database where current and past cases can be accessed. Certain judgments from all levels of court in Ontario are available online through the Canadian Legal Information Institute. Most Ontario Court of Appeal decisions, GoAnimate Ontario, LAO, an independent agency funded largely by the province of Ontario, is responsible for the delivery of high-quality legal aid services to low-income individuals throughout Ontario. LAO provides legal aid services in a number of areas, including criminal and family matters, and immigration and refugee hearings. Legal aid certificates are issued to eligible individuals, who can then retain a private lawyer of their choice. LAO also funds 80 independent, community-based legal aid clinics. These clinics provide legal aid services for poverty law matters, such as housing, SEC.
Noah's dad, parent or caregiver paying child support must provide the other parent or caregiver proof of income every year, and within 30 days of the original court order or agreement date. You and the other parent or caregiver may agree to another time frame. In that case, the paying parent or caregiver must provide the other parent or caregiver with a copy of the following: their last income tax return, their last notice of assessment or reassessment for that tax return if your order or agreement includes special expenses, for example orthodontics, prescription drugs, club and sports fees or child care.
And now, Erica Dawson on the live show.
My name is Erica Dawson, and welcome to the live show. And here Corey Fallon Automotive is celebrating a birthday tomorrow. He will turn 19 years old, and so now, we have Steven Sansom on the phone right now. Line 1, Steven Sansom.
Erica, I've heard about your live show. I'm so glad you're back. I want to ask you about my girlfriend.
Okay, what's your name?
Name is Princess Cinderella.
Princess Cinderella. I have heard about her. She sounds like a sister, Zara Dawson. Zara Dawson was my sister.
And something gone wrong. Especially the world can't explode.
What? It was fake.
No.
I am telling you right now. The first spirit is telling me and the first card bounced.
No. Please just tell him about true love and a guy with a diamonds.
Can you give me his phone number?
Okay, it's 3145 9848 5665123 4. That was his phone number.
I think you are an awesome famous video star. And so Steven released his new movie in September of 2014. Check out his new movie on YouTube. You are awesome.
I know. The movie was about me when I was 15 years old, and my parents, and my girlfriend Princess Cinderella when she was 14 years old.
Okay, what's next? Line 2, Noah's dad.
Hi, Erica. I'm Noah's dad.
I Noah's dad. So tell me something about your son, Noah.
Well, my son Noah is smoking weed in the boys' changing room at school and stinking the place up, and Noah got sent to jail for this. A teacher from younger students aged 7 to 9 years old. The students in her class were panicking. They are not panicking. They were suffering when smoke came from the boys' changing room, which is near the room Noah smoked weed from. Some of the students in her class had asthma attacks, and they're in the hospital with breathing masks and need a lot of therapy, and our family will be paying for the hospital bills of $9,837.
Oh my gosh, that was strange.
I know, and also, Noah got sent to court, and he was found guilty, and Noah was sentenced to be grounded for a longer period of time. There will be huge major consequences by us.
I'll look at that. The phone is exploding. Line 3, Dora's grandma named Abuela.
Erika, I'm a big fan of your live show. A new series of Dora Gets Grounded was released in 2014 to 2016, and Dora's show will not be cancelled yet. You should check them out.
Right, I will check them out as well. So, how's Dora doing?
Dora is doing good, and so, my parents grounded there, and inside our like it is. Dora, I can't believe you got expelled from school. That's it. You are grounded forever. Go to your room right now. That is exactly what is right.
I'll look at that. The phones are exploding. Line 4, Frank from Japanese.
Erika, I heard about your live show. It was pretty good. I also heard about Dora was telling smack to me by saying something in Japanese. I don't speak English. I speak Japanese. Can you speak Japanese?
I don't about Japanese. I can speak English. So, how are you doing?
Good. I was traveling around Canada, and I went to British Columbia with a plane, and back to Tokyo, Japan.
I heard about Tokyo, Japan. Japan was a place where people speaks Japanese.
I know. Japanese was a good place where people speak Japanese. My wife and I traveled to Quebec, Louvain-Noranda, Montreal, and back to our home.
So, back to you, Steven.
Okay, you got me. So tell me, where do I find a place to stay?
GoAnimate City Hotel. The hotel has a pool and hotel rooms. Also, you are reaching for something.
Oh no.
Well, I figured out something. The girl was so close and you are kissing her.
What?
Yes, you are kissing her and doing something pretty good. You are really enjoying this. The fashion is exploding. Your hand is reaching to a girl.
Odd. No way. No freaking way.
Yes, I am telling you right now. And Michael, Andrew, and Rosia are reaching for something.
My God, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. The spirit world is going dark. Whether you are in trouble, and something you had to do with kissing somebody, find a girlfriend, and go on a date at a bowling alley, or any kind of place, and so, any more questions, please send me an email at ericadawson@hotmail.com, or you can check out our website at goanimatepublicradio.com/ Erica Dawson Live Show.
You're listening to GoAnimate Public Radio, 107.3 FM, your favorite radio station in GoAnimate City. So now, Tim Harrison the mechanic will tell us what he did. Hi Tim, how are you?
Not bad, you?
I'm doing great. So tell us what you did.
Alright, let's go over the things I did. Well, there I am, AATH9, on my very first go-kart I've ever made. It's got 4 baby buggy wheels on it and you push the front axle. And then, when I was 16, I built this faster go-kart completely from scratch. It had 450cc, Honda Hellcat, 2-cylinder street bike motor, the 5-speed transmission. And there's what I looked like when I was 16. Sweet.
Wow, awesome. Tell me more about the information.
Well, I didn't make this, but I made it beautiful. This was my very first car, 1973 Cadillac sedan DeVille with the 472 V8 4-barrel. I was doing the ball joints. And also, I drove it for a few years until I saw it advertised in the newspaper that, in 1 year gas would go up to $1 a gallon. Oh my god, I was so scared that no one would drive an 8-cylinder car with gas at $1 a gallon, so I sold it. Gee, I wish it was $1 a gallon now. Then when I was 20 years old, I was taking my Machinese course, in high school, not high school, in college. I built 2 motorized skateboards with Remington 33cc chainsaw motors on them. I still have both of them. The first one here is working fine, the second one is fire damage from my barn fire. When I was 23, I decided to build a car, 1963 Ford Falcon. It's not a real one, I made it from scratch. Still have that car at my building stored, hasn't been driven in 9 years, nothing's wrong with it, there it is. I'm painting the fenders and body panels one by one and installing them. Think in 2017 I'll finally get that car out, the Mustang's not mine. I am at the tender age of 23 years old posing with my car finally completed in my backyard, just built it in my garage. Here I am, 10 years, more than 10 years later, with my kids which I didn't have way back when I wasn't even married them. There's my son when he was 11 in my car. From the same day, there's my 1997 Chevy Malibu in the background. Think this was taken around 1999 or 2000.
A British Columbia foster family has lost its fight in the province's highest court to keep a Metis toddler they have raised since birth. The BC Court of Appeal has dismissed 2 appeals launched by the Vancouver Island couple to adopt the little girl in a case that pitted the importance of Indigenous heritage against that of blood relatives. The Ministry of Children and Family Development wants to move the girl to Ontario to live with her 2 biological siblings, who she has never met, and their adoptive parents. The BC foster mom is Metis while the adoptive parents in Ontario not, and the foster family had argued the girl's Aboriginal background should take precedence. A 5-member panel of appeal court judges has ruled there was no basis for either of the appeals, in part because the ministry retains sole guardianship of foster children and has the authority to determine their best interests. Throughout the court battle, the girl has remained in the care of her foster parents, who cannot be named to protect the child's identity. So now, we are going to talk about Chevrolet's new car came out 5 years ago.
James, how are you?
Good. So we are going to talk about Chevrolet's new car came out 5 years ago.
Chevrolet Bolt is a plug-in hybrid manufactured by General Motors, also marketed in rebadged variants as the Holden Bolt in Australia and New Zealand, and with a different fascia as the Vauxhall Ampera in the United Kingdom and as the Opel Ampera in the remainder of Europe. Sales of the 2011 Volt began in the U.S. in mid-December 2010, followed by various European countries and other international markets in 2011. Global combined Volt Ampera family sales totaled more than 117,000 units by the end of June 2016, with the U.S. as the leading market, with over 100,000 Volts delivered by July.
I have heard about the new generation 2017 Chevy Volt. There are 2 different trim levels, LT and Premier.
Volt Ampera family of vehicles is the world's all-time best-selling plug-in hybrid vehicle as of August 2016. The Volt operates as a pure battery electric vehicle until its battery capacity drops to a predetermined threshold from full charge. from there its internal combustion engine powers an electric generator to extend the vehicle's range as needed. When the engine is running, it may be periodically mechanically linked by a clutch to a planetary gear set, and hence the output drive axle, to improve energy efficiency. The Volt's regenerative braking also contributes to the onboard generation Volt improved battery system and drivetrain increased the all-electric range to 53 miles, 85 kilometers. Its EPA-rated fuel economy in charge-sustaining mode to 42 mpg US, 5.6 L/100 kilometers, 50 mpg imp, and the combined city highway fuel economy in all-electric mode to 106 mpge, up from 98 mpge. 9. Deliveries to retail customers in the U.S. and Canada began in October 2015 as a 2016 model year. Volt has won several awards, including the 2009 Green Car Vision Award, 2011 Green Car of the Year, 2011 North American Car of the Year, 2011 World Green Car, 2012 European Car of the Year, and 2016 Green Car of the Year. Controversies regarding the Volt include the extent to which the U.S. federal government may have participated in the Volt's development, which continued through General Motors' 2009 government-led bankruptcy, 14, 15, 16, and concerns about the battery pack fire risk following a crash test that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, performed on a Volt.
I also heard a brand new 2017 Volt Cam with a Chevrolet MyLink infotainment system with Bluetooth, AM/FM radio, with Sirius XM satellite radio. Heard about that one.
Society of Automotive Engineers, SAE, definition of a hybrid vehicle states that the vehicle shall have two or more energy storage systems, both of which must provide propulsion power, either together or independently. 20. General Motors has avoided the use of the term hybrid when describing its Voltec designs, even after the car maker revealed that in some cases the combustion engine provided some assist at high speeds or to improve performance. 21. Instead, General Motors describes the Volt as an electric vehicle equipped with a range-extending gasoline-powered internal